forming a sphere is a lot harder than I thought. But here are the tools that I'm going to be using. At first, I thought they were for like chiseling into wood or something else, but I guess they're for carving into clay. I dropped one and I was like, oh no. It's okay, keep going. But I by no means am any, what do you call it? Ceramics expert. Everything I do is literally just off the top of my head, which probably makes it a lot more complicated than it needs to be. But I also watch some YouTube videos on the basics and whatnot, but I'd rather just wing it and learn from my mistakes. And so I'm using this pumpkin kind of as a, inspiration. Later on, as I was making the pumpkin like into its shape, I actually did want a copy like that. Like a carved form that it has, like where everything looks like it's just like flat. But maybe I still have to carve it in the next part of this video. And so here, I'm just scoring the clay to show the lumps on the pumpkin. And here I'm just trying to show you guys, because I think there's a good amount of me where my right arms or my right hand might be covering the clay. So for a future video, I'm going to set up the camera at a different angle, and hopefully that helps out a lot more. I'm not really used to whispering for long periods of time, so I don't really know how well I'm doing at the moment, but I appreciate all of you for watching my videos. This is the first one I'm actually doing with a Yeti mic, and these things are really, really strong. They're like super powerful. You can hear everything from the birds chirping outside, people in the house talking. It's annoying. It's annoying trying to find a good time to record. My neighbor just moved in and he's doing a lot of work, so finding a good time to record audio is just like, oh, come on, man. So I normally just record the video, and as you can see in the background, I'm on YouTube just blasting music while I do this. Just listening to a lot of Bring Me the Horizon. But here I start actually putting like the grooves or the lumps onto the pumpkin and trying to smooth them out. It's a gradual process, and to be honest, I think I just learn as I go. Much like anything in life, I think. And so from here I'm just adding more and more. Just trying to get that shape. At first I was pretty worried that it wouldn't take shape. And I was like, my sister lent me her camera, which is like a Panasonic something, I don't know, fancy camera. So I'm gonna try to shoot a lot more of these videos on there. And I just kinda wanna do this while it's fun. And yeah, I am having fun while I do these. But just let me know what you guys wanna see, what you guys, other video ideas you guys have for me, or, suggestions. And please feel free to leave me, like, tips, or, that kind of stuff. Like, do this, or you should try this more, or, back up from the mic, or, I don't know, just stuff like that. Because I have no idea on what I'm doing. I've been thinking of trying to build different things with clay, but I just don't know what to build at the moment, and, I still have to go to work, my other hobbies and whatnot. Like, ever since I got this mic, I've been doing a lot more music, and that's been going not great, but it's just fun, so I think that's what matters. And as you can see, the pumpkin is starting to take a little more shape. Honestly, kind of reminds me more of those white pumpkins in the background. That's fine, as long as it looks like a pumpkin. Do you guys have any hobbies that you like doing, pass the time, or even like a business? Drop it down in the comments. Art's really fun. Art's just a great way to, express yourself and get rid of the stress. Daily stress is pretty big at the moment. So it's a good thing to find like a way to express yourself, an outlet. Whether it's this, whether it's, music, making videos on YouTube, drawing, painting, dancing, poetry. It's just always nice to find a way to get rid of that stress and just enjoy yourself and get lost in the moment. Because, time flies when I do these kind of things. Like this video, I had no idea that I actually spent about an hour and a half recording. Time just flew by, and then, I had to upload it and kind of edit it and split some things. But, yeah, like I said, I'm enjoying it. And right now, I'm just trying to put like the finishing touches, the final 2 grooves on this pumpkin. October just kind of flew by, and I can't believe Halloween is like, what, 2 to 3 days away. It's crazy. I'm just gonna stand on my front porch and throw candy at people walking by. Even if it's just regular people, just like the mailman. You get a candy, you get a candy, you get a candy. I'm just messing around. Probably just gonna stay in and watch scary movies or like scary story videos on YouTube on Halloween. Don't really know what else to do. sort of a jack-o'-lantern, like a real one. But this year is going by pretty fast. And can't wait for Christmas and whatnot. I just hope it rains more. But, you know, all these pumpkins really make me want to go to a pumpkin patch. I have a golden retriever that I take everywhere with me. And we always go to a pumpkin patch just to take photos. He's pretty much my child. His name is Link, and I'll do a video about him in the future sometime. It could be like brushing him out and just answering questions about him. He's such a sweetheart. But I think here we are applying the final touches to the grooves and to the lumps, just trying to smoothen things out. Get pretty neurotic about these things. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, but, you know, at least resemble a pumpkin. Oh, I have one more left to go. And then after this, we're gonna work on the stem, or the knot. I don't know what it's called. The top part. It's like one of my favorite things to do, is to just folding the clay and just, you know, how malleable it is. I just like working with my hands. And so here we're gonna add the final lump. I still don't know. I'm just gonna call them lumps. And from here we're just gonna try to smoothen things out and just try to connect things together. We're gonna be using the tool to just try to blend the clay and mix things in. This is now the longest video that I've ever done, and the first video I've ever recorded audio for, so I hope this all comes out good. I keep having to cut because cars keep driving by, and this microphone is just too sensitive, but I love it. But yeah, that's what happens when you live next to the busy street, but hopefully I'll be able to soundproof my room eventually. Or just, you know, go to my garage and soundproof that, but I'm still trying to figure this whole thing out. So that's why I say I really appreciate all of you for just checking out my videos and subscribing to me. And it's just awesome. Especially that first video. I didn't think it'd get that many views, but it's still going, so thank you. And here we're just applying some extra lumpage to the bottom of this lump. And to these finishing touches, we're going to be working on the top. And the whole pumpkin should come together, and there it's gonna get dismantled. Well, not really dismantled, but we're gonna carve a hole in the center from the bottom. And that's gonna remove all the excess clay that we don't need, that can be saved for future projects. It's finally starting to get really cold where I live, so right now when I'm recording audio, I can't feel my fingers. my feet are slowly starting to go numb. I'll be fine. It's not something that I'm used to be honest. Just kind of sitting here and doing a voiceover. And here I'm just pressing the pumpkin down to give it more of a form. And as you can see, it looks like a clove of garlic. But that's okay. And from here I was thinking maybe I can add something to the bottom to make it a little more bigger, make it resemble more of a pumpkin. But I was like, nah, I don't really have to do that, nor do I want to. And so here we're just gonna work on the top portion of the pumpkin. It's gonna be a lot of rolling and a lot of shaping clay and a lot of realizing that this clay isn't the best to try to roll into a stem. And so I just I gun it, I get a thick part. And I didn't like how the bottom it wasn't thick enough, so I eventually go back into the clay tub and get a little more pieces of clay and start wrapping them around it. But right here, it's just me trying to put things together and realizing how silly it looks. And this is where the work starts. I think this is why I like clay so much, because you can always add more, or sculpt them off, scrape them off, carve them off. You can always go back and fix your mistakes with clay. I mean, you can do so with other mediums as well, but I think I just like the hands-on approach with clay. And so here we're just trying to make the base a little thicker for the stem. I think it's called a knot. I don't know, but I'm just gonna keep calling it stem. And we're gonna attach that, and we're gonna add like those little lumps or like little bumps, I guess, at the top. You don't really see them too often on real pumpkins, but growing up I would see them in cartoons, and occasionally, you do see a pumpkin in real life with like several little bumps on them. So this is the almost completed, put together pumpkin with all of the basic form. Quite happy with it. And here we're going to start cutting up the small little bumps. You just need tiny little pieces of clay. And from there we're just going to not make perfect spheres, but we're going to smush the clay, give it a little form. But first I'm going to use this toothpick to add a little bit of water and to scrape the surface of the pumpkin, so this way the little bumps can stay and attach themselves. Like I said, I was watching some YouTube tutorials earlier. And this part seems like it'd be tedious, but I kind of enjoyed this part a lot more. I just really like detail work, I guess. I'm just trying my best to, have everything in sight. And at the moment, my desk isn't in the best position to have the tripod set up right next to me, nor do I have enough room on my desk to have the tripod sitting on top. And so here we continue with the scraping. reattaching of the bumps. At the moment, the clay is a little too soft to be doing any kind of serious carving. So we're just gonna have to wait at least 12 hours or so. It doesn't have to be a full day. Eventually I do want to paint them, but I don't think they're gonna last because I think a couple years ago I made like a cup holder, or I made a cup, just like to try to make something, and it ended up breaking after like 8 months, I think. It just stayed on my desk, and eventually and essentially it slowly started cracking. But hey, that's just for fun. I was actually thinking of taking a ceramics class, but, you know, with this whole COVID thing, not too sure about classes and whatnot at the moment, so we'll see. But I remember when I was younger, I would like messing around with clay, but it was just like mushing the colors together and seeing what happened, just cutting that in half and seeing like the mixture, like a tie-dye kind of thing. Now that I'm older, it's like, let's try making things. Let's try making mini whatever. I really want to make a mini barrel for some weird reason. I think because all the detail work that could be put into the wood and whatnot. But one day, I'm thinking of doing an actual like jack-o'-lantern carving ASMR video. Since Halloween is only about 3 days away, I could probably record that tomorrow and we'll see. Takes a lot of focus to just sit there and scrape away. It really doesn't. I just really like listening to music and getting lost in things. Eventually, I do want to do like more role-playing videos and audio role-playing videos. It's just a little tough writing them out. I'm not the best writer in the world, so gotta start somewhere, right? But those are fun. Like I said, that first video I did, I just winged it. I had a script next to me, but I kind of ad-libbed some of it. That's where it all started. And here I am now, making a really long video with a really long audio voiceover. And so we're finally adding the final touches. All together, this video would have been like, I think, an hour or so if I had tried to make it into one thing. So I'm gonna split it into 2 parts, and hopefully you guys enjoy that, because the next part is the carving and like the sculpting. Not the sculpting, this is the sculpting. Yeah, just the carving. I'm gonna make the face, we're gonna hollow out the center, and eventually, if I feel like it, I guess I can make a part 3 where we paint these two. We can add some more detail with the tools. But once again, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much to those of you who have subscribed. I'm gonna just try to keep improving and have a bunch of different ideas that I do want to try. And I really do appreciate each and every one of you. So please go out there and do the things that you love. Do the things that leave you satisfied at the end of the day. Do the things that, make you happy. And always give it your all. Always try to be a better you than who you were yesterday. And if you fall, that's okay. That's what life's about. You fall, you get back up, you keep going. And remember that it's definitely okay to ask for help, and that you guys are never alone. So get at it, you guys. Work hard. Live the life that you guys want to live. And slowly but surely things will fall into place. Thank you once again for watching this video. And here are the two pumpkins side by side. And in the next part, like I said, we'll get to the carving and just making it look like an actual jack-o'-lantern. So I hope you